I would share something that my older sister, sent to me, and she she's she's looked at. It's a write-up by somebody, and it talks about religion as being the bane of Africa. Let me just read through it. If it is the bane of Africa, I want to think that the new presentation can be a blessing, because people have started awakening, and they are seeing clearly that religion has been a setback in their lives. Okay, let me read out what she sent to me. Africa is currently experiencing another form of slavery through Pentecostalism. We are now mentally lazy, and our ability to reason scientifically has been incapacitated. The write-up below gives a vivid reality of the way we think. Some African pastors won't talk about Usain Bolt or Serena Williams. Some African pastors won't talk about Steve Jobs or the young people in Silicon Valley reshaping our world. They won't talk about young American scientists spending endless hours in search of a cure to a disease that's predominantly in the tropical African region. Some African pastors won't talk about Chimamanda Ngozi or Ben Okri. In every corner of the world, there exist young men and women who have defied all odds and become successful through hard work, creativity, and dedication. Some pastors won't talk about them. Neither will he ask his members to emulate the spirit of these individuals. He will rather talk about Sister Agatha, who got a job she was not the most qualified for because she prayed and fasted in line with the church program. Or Brother John, who became a millionaire because he used all his salary as a seat in the church. Or Papa Miracle, who laid his hands on and 3 of his children got admission in the university. Or Mama Esther paid her little tithe and her business started growing everywhere across the nation. No business plan, just boom, everywhere. This has led to a new breed of mentally lazy young people who now see God as a rewarder of mediocrity. To some pastor, the only way to prosper is by paying your tithe and sowing seeds in the church. So they will never talk about those who have, through hard work and dedication, placed themselves on the world map. No, the African God only blesses the first 30 people who rush up to the altar to drop 100,000 naira as seed. The African God abhors hard work and creative thinking. He only gives to those who sow seeds and offerings, give offerings to the church, and those who shout, "I am a millionaire," every morning and do nothing the rest of the day. You want the Almighty to come down and help you use talent. He gave you and blessed you because you are going to church to shout, "Daddy, I received it." Guess what? The joke is on. Can someone tell these jokers that irrespective of your creed, faith, or religion, blessings and favors follow once you start using your talent and become useful to your society? As we embrace the new year, okay, that is it. So I've read this to show you how, in fact, this vacuum that is being created in Africa, in the African mind, could be filled by the NuPresentation if we work hard enough to make the teachings of the NuPresentation available to the public. It will fill this void, and this is very timely because the NuPresentation has just surfaced in the new nowness, and there's this awakening. I don't know whether Duane can make a correlation between this awakening and the advent of the NuPresentation.
Well, I'm going to refer to the article you wrote there, and I would suggest that you follow up with this individual who wrote it, because it's, I would say it's very good observation. And to many, to most people that are with the church and whatever, I'm sure they're going to be, some of them will be inspired because, it reinforces their belief, which creates this overall consciousness of agreement to the downside of things. Eventually, for the moment, it looks good. The prosperity on the earth, a poisoned planet, etc. And we know who the gods are, supposedly, that people look to. It's an agreement with the reptilians, is all it is. And they will shower people with money, make them look good, etc. Again, referring to the article and the individual, and I'm sure there's many more, there's going to be all kinds of views. And that is that I would say this person has the courage to step up and say something, has the awareness also to see what's going on and sort it out, because there's a fine line there between accepting, the so-called prosperity that these people have, and again, referring it to their God. This is what they do when it's prosperous. When people are prosperous in religion, they usually refer to their God. When they're not, it's usually the devil, etc. And we all go through that because it's cause and effect here. But this is why I've created so many areas with the NuPresentation to cover these things, to where, here's an individual seeing this, and yes, seeing as an idea what we're doing, and yes, there is a struggle here. There's a lot of hard work and etc. And that's fine. I've always been fine with that, and so these are the areas that we're already covering with the NuPresentation, especially with the worldwide educators and the university, the Solar Vessel Project, trying to get something that makes sense for this world. Real food, real water, real air, etc. That's a huge struggle right there. And it's interesting to know, too, this individual, he's right on with the business world that is basically destroying the planet. And so there are ways to do business that do not destroy the planet, but for the most part, maybe this one gal, I don't know what it is, I'm just guessing, maybe she started a cookie business and she's selling cookies. Well, as an example, I've seen this before. I was reading an article here a few days ago about some people. They're involved in Hoag Hospital. It's a hospital here in Orange County, and they're spending a lot of time with the Hoag Hospital, and they've made millions. They're millionaires from their little cookie factory. Okay, so what are they doing with that? You can make a lot of money. I could make a lot of money doing cookies. What is the end result? And that is you're selling white flour and sugar to the masses to where they have diabetes. So I can see this individual's relationship. Again, it's business. It's related to the business world, and even the religions, they are a business. They are ground one. They are one-dimensional businesses, and they use the God idea. So I would see if you could create a relationship, or just how you could correspond with this person and other people like that. When these things come up, I usually jump into something, because I see that he's very aware of what's going on, and he sees through the fallacy of using the belief idea with the business world aspect also. So again, this it's more than evident what people or institutions demonstrate. And in other words, yes, he's seeing that awards and focus and attention are given to those that accomplish something in the business world, because that aligns itself with the church realistically. But they throw the belief idea in there that it's God that's done all this, etc. Well, what about the rest of the world that's being destroyed? God supposedly made that is where people don't mention that, just like he says. So I would say that's very good. Thank you for bringing that up, Charles.